Shamika, Tuesday night, President Trump spoke to Congress. But before he spoke to Congress, a member of the House, Jasmine Crockett, the new favorite member of the new squad, she put out a video of her dancing and rapping to Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us, and it turned it into some sort of political message to Donald Trump, or I don't know. Let's play the clip, and then we'll talk about it.
Oh no! It's a cultural divide. I'ma get it on the floor. You really about to do it? 40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music. You really about to do it? Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence. They get on it like that. Hey, I'm tripping, I'm sliding, I'm riding through the back like fuck. Mustard on a beat, bro, deep boat, any rap. He a freak though, man down, call like Amber Lambs. Tell him breathe. Let them boys to the cross, they walk around like T's. What's up with these?
So that's Jasmine Crockett making a fool of herself, making a fool of politics and turning politics into a complete and utter circus. I don't get it, but to some degree, I do get it. That if you look around the world, if Zelensky in Ukraine, he was some sort of comedian. They got videos of him dancing in high heels and all things. Maybe politics globally, and certainly here in America, maybe it's just turning into a clown show and a circus, and maybe this is the new normal.
Jason, you know what I think is funny is that Jasmine's middle name is Felicia. So when I saw this, I think it's very appropriate to say, bye, Felicia. This is ridiculous. And she looks crazy. And of course, like you said, Zelensky was an actor or whatever, but I'm assuming that he's not dancing around in heels today. So that's my problem with Jasmine. Like, there are things that you should be focused on. Winning a popularity contest in Congress is not one of those things. I understand that there is some degree of popularity that you have to have as an elected official, but I don't think you have to go to these lengths. It looks as if she's not taking her job seriously, and she just wants to be a celebrity. She just wants to be famous. She wants a bunch of people saying, oh, I like her. She keep it real. People, I assume, voted you into that position to get things done. And so all of these antics, I just think it's inappropriate. She looks silly. And I think she makes Black women look bad. Women in general, but because she's Black and because I know a lot of her constituents are probably Black, it just really looks bad. And I just think it is why people don't take us seriously.
Well, I think in politics now, people enter into it like, hey, I'm going to get rich one way or the other. I'm going to do some insider trading. I'm going to set myself up for a big corporate position post-politics. And I think Jasmine Crockett is saying, I'm going to be a personality. If this political thing comes to an end, I'm going to be on TV somewhere. I'm going to be hosting a podcast somewhere. I'm going to be Hawk Tua, or, and again, I'm not sexualized. I'm just saying I'm going to be a brand that can market myself. And so I see Jasmine Crockett just like, hey, she's building a brand that she's comfortable with, that she can, if politics comes to an end, celebrities will know her. She'll be a candidate to be on The View. She'll be, does Jada Pinkett still do Red Table Talk or whatever? She'll be on, no? That's
I'm
over.
not sure. I don't know.
Yeah, she'll be on some podcast that she's hosting or some other celebrity's hosting, and that seems to be her real agenda. And she's like, AOC went this far, and then someone else says, well, okay, I can go out to the next level, and that's where Jasmine Crockett is. I obviously it's not good for the country. I but I don't know if we can put this toothpaste back in the bottle. There's so much money to be made for being some sort of celebrity that, maybe this is the new wave.
Jason, you're right, because you mentioned this and it just brought me back to the fact that I was watching Jeopardy last week, and one of the answers was Hawk from Hawk Tour. And I was just thinking, why is this a Jeopardy answer? But it just shows that across the board, we've lowered our standards on so many things that this would actually be a Jeopardy answer. So I do think that we talked, I think last week, about how across the board, politicians just don't carry themselves the way they used to. But I do think even in other areas, the standards have been lowered a great deal, that people just don't care anymore. And as you said, we can't put the toothpaste back in the tube. How do we fix this now that we've gone so far? I just thought it was crazy that that was a Jeopardy answer. And you bringing that up brought that back to my memory, that I thought I sat there with my grandmother thinking my grandma would never know this answer, because she's not, in this culture that we've created.
Well, we've created a culture. I don't know. Did you ever see the movie The Truman Show with Jim Carrey? It's a show about a guy that basically turned his life into a TV show. He made himself just content, and the movie's probably 15, 20, maybe a little bit longer old, but it was kind of ahead of the curve where everybody has turned themselves into content. That's how we see ourselves. That we're here. And again, on our show, we like to talk about a greater purpose of serving God and doing something profound with your life, where now mostly people, young people, when they're kids in school, they don't want to be firemen, they don't want to be policemen, they don't want to be doctors or lawyers. They want to be content creators. And I've seen some young people that I actually respect, but they start off on a career. I'm going to be a life coach and they're like 25 years old, and I'm like, you're going to be a life
Right.
coach? You ain't even
Haven't lived life.
experienced anything, and now you out here coaching people on how to do life. But that's the America culture that produced innovators and people that were had aspirations to leave some kind of impact, or just to be committed to raising a family and developing kids and orchestrating a successful marriage. All of that's all out the window, and it's every man or woman for himself. And how can I create some kind of viral content today? What Jasmine Crockett did here should be disqualifying. People are like, oh my God, she's not a serious person. She can't be in high political office. But it's not a disqualifier, and I'll go another step. And I know you and I will get criticized for suggesting this, but it just seems true to me. The other thing about Trump's address to Congress on Tuesday night was, lo and behold, a politician got kicked out. They had to call basically security, the sergeant of arms, to escort someone out. And man, if you had to guess the demographic of that person, would it be a white politician, a black politician, a Latino politician, Asian? If you had to guess, who would shake a cane and become such a disruption that they had to be escorted out in something that didn't seem organic to me? It seemed like planned. Someone volunteered to be that guy, and it was a congressman out of Houston, Texas, I believe, Al Green. And I had never seen this guy. When they told me his name was Al Green, the only Al Green I know is the singer, the Reverend Al Green, and I don't. Anyway, I think there's like we sign up to do the most, and so Al Green did the most, and I wasn't remotely surprised.
Yeah, Jason. So I'm actually wondering what's going on in Texas since they're both from Texas. From the beginning of the address, I kind of knew that there was going to be some black person that just put themselves out there to go really far because the Democrats have kind of made black people their monkey, for lack of a better word. I don't have a better one right now, in their circus. Because when you look across the board, those are the ones that went after Trump politically. Those are the ones that feel like they have to get Trump told all the time. Those are the ones like Jasmine Crockett that are just putting on this show constantly and consistently. So I wasn't surprised. I was surprised that it was that early on because it happened from the very beginning, but I wasn't surprised that someone went that far. I do think Al Green is too old to have those type of antics. You would think someone who could be a grandfather would know how to carry himself and would know how to get his message across without looking like a buffoon. But I wasn't shocked that it was one of their mascots because that's kind of how they use black people as mascots.
Yeah, useful idiots, what you're talking about, and that when you said went after Trump, you're talking about the lawfare. You're talking about Alvin Bragg, Fannie Willis, Letitia James. It's always us doing the most. That's the ante that we have to pay for high profile positions given to us by Democrats. And so, yes, there's Jasmine Crockett and Al Green doing the most during Trump's address. And, like breaking precedent in terms of, I just haven't seen a politician, uh, doing a rap song to try to troll the president and a rap song about where someone's being accused of being a pedophile. It's just like there's no limit. There's no standard. There's no line that they won't cross. There's no going too far. And then I just don't think I can't remember uh, when someone gets kicked out of a presidential address, a politician, an elected official gets kicked out while and again he's shaking a cane and shouting the president down, and everybody else, part of their orchestrated deal, they held up little signs, must steals or whatever. They get to do something somewhat dignified. It's unprecedented. It's orchestrated. It's not organic, but they get to have some level of decorum. Whereas Al Green, Jasmine Crockett, uh, Letitia James, Alvin Bragg, Fannie Will. It just goes on and on and on, and I guess it's worth it for them. I guess it's worth it for us as black people that, hey, at least they have these positions. Yes, there's things they have to do, and they certainly can't prioritize their constituents' concerns, but at least we have the symbol of these people holding these offices, and that's going to work out for our young people and kids, and that's really going to change culture. I don't. Whole thing makes me sad, but it is what it is at this point. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, and he did all of this in a ponytail. Let's not leave that part out. Not only did he have the cane, he had the ponytail. So he really looked like Cat Daddy. He really looked like some type of pimp. It's a character. They have to be in character, which is why it's so embarrassing. It's like they looked around the room and said, "You, Al Green, you're the perfect person to show out for this address to Congress." It's just crazy.
He actually has the wrong musical name. You know what his name should be. Seriously, he should be Ronald Isley. That's
Yes.
with the cane. And Ronald Isley sometimes has long hair with the ponytail. Rather than love and happiness, it should have been contagious or
Yeah. We should be
what it,
calling him Mr. Big.
Yeah, there we go, Mr. Big. Shamika, thank you. Great job as always. We'll see you next time.
Don't miss a second of Fearless. Hit that like button and subscribe to keep up with our latest content.